I started to work with the Never project in 2011, and telling the truth, it was more than dealing with the past. It was dealing with the present, you know. And there are very interesting issues happening in Albania because art in Albania consider it more as a tender or as a cartel, but not coming from the art side or from the art system, but coming from the political system. This is very important here. And when I was dealing with this project, I had to ask different institutions, of course the government, of course the village, and of course the city, in the front of which is in the front of the writing. And these three figures or institutions, let's call it like that, were from the Democratic Party, the Socialist Party, and a party which is in the middle. So it was very difficult for me to get permission from these kind of people, and I worked mostly 1 year dealing with these persons, explaining my point of view in order to have this kind of permission, which at the end they didn't give me because they wanted more than an artwork. They wanted to use my project as an electoral tool somehow, and they wanted to use my project as a kind of earning money from my projects, you know. So I constructed the diagram, and which becomes the Never chart, with all my appointments with these people. And this diagram is very conceptual, of course, and some kind of and is very violent, and have to deal with corruption a lot. So I left out all this institution, all these people from the government, and I went to the village, and I talked to the villagers in order to convince those about this thing. You know, it was not so easy because even the villagers, even the people considered art more related to the politics and or to a party, which is not like that. So it was very difficult for me to explain my point of view and to explain that art have nothing to do with a special political party, but is politic in itself, but nothing to do with these people and their programs. So I explained my idea of Never, so to turn the name of the dictator to Never, and from these people it was accepted, because some of these people in '68, when Enver, the name of the dictator, was written, were working there. And the name, which is a very huge one, so the letters are tall, something like 150 meters, were made by the army itself, using something like 500 soldiers to construct the name with rocks taken from the area, from the near area there. So, and the young communists were able to paint those letters with white at the end, you know. And this happened something like it was a kind of pellegrinage, you know, during all the years. So the young communists returned to the mountain and painted those with white, until the 90s, where the communist regime collapsed, and something happened in '94, where the first Democratic Party wanted to destroy the name of the dictator. So they sent again the army there, and they used dynamite in order to pulverize the rocks, you know. But some failure occurs because the rocks were falling down, destroying the houses of the inhabitants. So they left this idea and used fire throwers, you know, and using these fire throwers to burn the white surface of the rocks. But something very, very, very a disaster occurred because 2 soldiers burned alive, you know. They died there, so they left this project until the nature covers it with bushes and herbush, you know, and nothing was visible until when I went there, actually telling the truth. But the inhabitants knew perfectly and exactly the letters, when they started, when they finished. So we were able to construct the letters with the inhabitants, a very bunch of people, I mean something like 10 people. We worked there for a month, or more than a month, to construct the Never sign, which I have to say it's not a kind of negation of Enver, of the dictator's name. I think that the word put itself at least at the later to the anti-age degree, the condition of absolutism, which is the guise of democracy, and which the guise of democracy excludes all the possibilities. And it's very interesting because at that time people from the city used to take photographs at the front of the sign of the Enver, you know. And now after the falling of the ex-regime, people from all over the world are taking pictures, and you can see these pictures in the blogs all over the world, and they have behind this never sign, which is no more a local situation, but it's a global situation which includes all of us, you know, because of course it's a Western word, you know, and never means this for me. It's something that have to deal with more with a global attitude, not anymore with a local one. Even Albania is somehow placed in a different interesting operation, like the covert operation which were held in Albania during the Cold War and things like that. So Albania, it's a kind of a small country, but that have this potential to change a little bit the situation all around the world.